We just keep living beyond our means while we're drowning in debt. Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Money Anonymous. I'm Kira Jones, financial coach and founder of Financial Intervention Academy, here to answer your personal finance questions anonymously. And now on to today's question. I honestly feel like we are drowning in debt. We are constantly using credit cards or going into the negative in our checking accounts. We have $30,000 in debt between medical bills, credit cards, and personal loans. Between my husband and I, we make about $7,800 a month. Our bills, other than debts, are only about $2,800 a month. We literally just blow the rest. I know where our problems are. I just don't know how to change it. So the first thing I notice is your income. And without knowing if your $7,800 is pre-tax or post-tax, I think it's safe to say that you're making right around $100,000 a year, which begs the question, why are you constantly going into the negative in your checking account? I think it's safe to say you make too much money to be that broke. How much of your income is going to debt payments? So without knowing that, how can you know your leverage number, which is basically the number you have, the amount of money that you have left over after you're saving and paying all of your expenses, including debt, food, gas, all of your expenses. So I'm going to do a whole separate video about leverage, but basically income minus savings minus expenses equals leverage. Expenses meaning bills and the monthly payments on the debt. If you don't have any leverage cash monthly, then you need to create some by either increasing your income or cutting out some expenses. How to know your leverage number? You could do a spending audit, which is looking back at what did your money do. This will give you an idea of what you normally spend on the non-bills like food, eating out, gas, etc. It's helpful to have this info to set up a monthly spending plan. Eventually, I will have my free guide to doing a spending audit. Once it's ready, you'll find it linked down in the description below. Once you do a spending audit to see where your money goes, this gives you the info to plug into your budget. A budget or a spending plan is your roadmap for the month and should tell you at a glance how much extra cash or leverage you should have after everything else gets paid. I love this quote. What gets measured gets managed, by Peter Drucker. So if you don't track and plan your spending, no wonder you blow your money and don't know where it goes. Doing a budget is such a simple fix to this problem. Notice I said simple and not easy. That's a big difference. So when you say that you know where your problems are, then I assume you've already identified one or several of these 7 problems as being like your main issue. So lack of financial literacy, this is a lack of basic understanding of personal finance, and thus you struggle to make informed financial decisions. Social pressure and lifestyle inflation. It's keeping up with the Joneses. As your income goes up, so does your spending. You don't just spend everything you make, but you go into debt to maintain a certain lifestyle or status. Instant gratification. This is where you prioritize short-term pleasure over the longer-term gains, over spending and going into debt because if you want it, you just get it. Emotional spending, spending to cope with stress, anxiety, or other emotional issues. This can become a compulsion, leading to obviously debt or even mental health issues like hoarding your home beyond living capacity. Easy access to credit. You kept applying for new credit cards, loans, etc., maxing them all out just because you kept getting approved for more because you were getting approved for it. Unexpected expenses, medical bills, car repairs, home improvements. These shouldn't be unexpected at all. Lack of savings kept you from being prepared for these non-monthly expenses. With enough money set aside, emergencies are more like inconveniences. And then there are financial emergencies. These are true emergencies such as job loss, illness, or a divorce. Many borrow money in times of crisis because of a lack of being prepared. And again, money set aside can make or break these situations to where it was just a bump in the road, or you had no road and you went right over a cliff. Hello, bankruptcy. And if any of you out there in YouTube land can relate to any of these 7 money problems or just enjoying my channel so far, please give this video a like and a subscribe. It's a great way to support my channel at no cost to you. Thank you. All right, let's identify your core money problems, because I think all 7 items listed before can be summed up into one of 3 core money problems. Is it a spending problem? You just buy things because you want it, regardless if you should or not. Income problem, not making enough money to cover basic living expenses. Or do you have a systems problem, how you plan, execute, and reconcile money spent? Maybe the problem is all 3, but how do you fix these problems? If it's a systems problem, you've got missed payments that cause late fees, overdrafting your account because you have auto payments set up, but not a good system for tracking and reconciling payments. You don't make a plan for your money. So at the end of the month, you wonder where it all went. Spending more than you make because you run out of money before payday and result to debt just to get by. I teach a framework called Create Your Own Money System, which helps with planning and tracking your money, learning how you work with money, finding a way to plan, spend, and track your money in a way that works for you. If you don't often use cash or like carrying cash, then there are other ways of managing your money that don't involve carrying cash. And yes, there are systems you can set up if you're one of those people that just do not and will not track your purchases. You don't want to reconcile your spending after the fact. It's truly about finding what's working for you. You can do a system where you don't have to reconcile everything. Envelopes are a good way to do that. But, bills paid on time at a minimum. You don't spend more than you make. Every dollar has a job, and you know exactly where your money should be going. And you double check that your money did what you told it to do. I'm obviously going to be a little biased here, but I think the best solution to a systems problem is to hire a financial coach who knows several different methods and frameworks around money to help you decide what way is best for you, and then helps you to implement and maintain your money system. Some of my clients love their spreadsheets, and others just use a simple calendar and notebook. The right system is the one you're going to use, and the one that's going to be the one that's going to work for you. Next up, income problem. Not enough income to cover all minimum financial obligations. An income problem is simple, not easy. You get a raise or a better paying job, work a side job or several side jobs, or even donate plasma to maximize the income coming in. If you literally have no way to increase income, then you have to mercilessly cut out expenses to get some flexibility in your monthly cash flow. If it's a spending problem, this is about the most difficult to overcome, requires behavior change, possibly outside help from a mental health professional, financial professional, or both. Often you can fix the spending problem by working on the other 2 areas, your income and your systems. So in my opinion, most spending problems come from not having big enough goals and dreams. Why work, as in why our inner personal why, is such very important work, because financial success is so much more than being debt-free with a pile of money. Why do you want to be debt-free with a pile of money? It's about that life that you can have because you are debt-free with a pile of money. So what does that look like? If your vision for the future doesn't light you up, then you will continue to spend your money on bullshit and keep wondering why you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Based on the numbers you provided here, it looks like you should have $3,000 to $5,000 a month that you could be throwing at your $30,000 in debt. This means if you really focused, you could be debt-free in just 6 months. Let me put it to you another way. What would it feel like if 7 to 8 months from now, you and your spouse get to drop $5,000 on a vacation? Christmas in Hawaii, maybe? You didn't mention anything about vehicles, but what would it feel like, since you eliminated all the other debt, to be able to save that $5,000 for 6 months so that you can buy a brand new car, $30,000 with cash? Could you imagine it? If you can't, then you might need to do some mindset work, therapy, or both, because your feet will never take you where your mind has never been. Dr. Bill Winston. I love that quote. Can you sit and think for a little bit about what big dreams and goals you could achieve with an extra $5,000 a month? Because I bet $5,000 extra a month would be life-changing if you didn't owe it to all these other bills and people. You make too much money to be this broke and to be left wondering where in the heck $5,000 goes every month. It sounds like you just need some simple habits and some goals that really set you up. And nothing will free you more than big, beautiful dreams and goals. Or as Ramit Sethi calls it, your rich life. Everyone's rich life is personal to them. What do you love doing? What about your spouse? You've been drowning in debt for so long that I bet the two of you haven't talked about your dreams and goals in a long time. Once you define your big, beautiful dreams, you'll find that you stop spending your money on crap because you've got bigger and better things to spend your money on, and you develop a plan to make it happen. So that's how you stop blowing your money on crap. Once you define your big, beautiful dreams, you will have much better things to spend your money on. And dare I say that excitement just might make the dreaded budgeting process fun. All right, folks, that's it for episode 10. If you would like to submit a question to be answered on a future episode, please fill out the anonymous Google form. Link is in the description below. And we will see you next week for episode 11 of Money Anonymous, where I discuss if now is the time to ramp up retirement or focus on paying off debt first. So disclaimer time, every situation is unique and there is never just one right answer to questions about personal finance. Everything I discuss in today's video is meant for education and informational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. Even today's scenario is missing very important details that I would also figure out and discuss with a client before giving them a range of options so they're fully informed about their situation and their options so they decide for themselves what's right for them and their family. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this helpful, since my channel is brand new, it would mean so very much if you could give a like and a subscribe. It's a no-cost way to support this channel, and we'll see you guys next week.